In the previous part of reproduction organism topic, we explained what do we mean by lifespan of different organisms, asexual reproduction, types of asexual reproduction, and also sexual reproduction, difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. Later, we also explained the phases of life cycle in case of organisms. In the last part of our discussion, we have to explain events of sexual reproduction. Mainly, if you consider the events of sexual reproduction, first one, pre-fertilization. That means before zygote formation, what are the events take place in organism? We called pre-fertilization events. Then second step is fertilization. That is union of egg and sperm to form zygote. We called fertilization. That biological phenomenon we called fertilization. Then post-fertilization events means after fertilization, during organism's life cycle, what are the changes take place that we have to explain. As we know, there is a lot of diversification in both animals as well as plants. They have different types of sex organs, then sex organ structures, then different adaptability, then a different mode of gamete transportation. But basically, when you consider events of fertilization, basic mechanism in all organisms almost all remain same. Here, first we consider pre-fertilization events. In pre-fertilization event, first we make small units here. Generally what we will do mistake, the one term we considered as a single unit, but there are plenty of sub-terms are there. For example, we have to study here first gametogenesis, how gametes are formed. That we make a separate unit. Then second, types of gametes, where we classify gametes into three different types: isogametes, anisogametes, and oogametes. Then after that, sexuality in organisms. In general study, just we saying a unisexual, bisexual like that. But to represent organism sexuality, we have different terminology used for lower plants, flowering plants, animals. That term we have to discuss. Then in addition to that, how cell division takes place. Cell division takes place during gamete formation. Yes. Here, whether mitosis helps for gametogenesis or meiosis helps for gametogenesis, or otherwise in some organisms mitosis or some organisms meiosis, we have to confirm in the term cell division during gamete formation. Then after that, how the specially gametes transfer is take place. That is in case of the specially lower plants, then a higher plants, animals, especially aquatic animals, terrestrial animals, how gametes transportation is take place. that we have to explain. This all we have to consider under pre-fertilization event, that is formation of gametes, gametogenesis, types of gametes that are isogametes, anisogametes, oogametes, sexuality in organism, mainly in lower plants, flowering plants and animals. Cell division during formation of gamete we have to consider. Then how gametes are transferred in case of both plants and animals we have to discuss in detail. First we consider here what do you mean by gametogenesis. That is simply the meaning of this gametogenesis is formation of a gametes. But what happens here? Spore mother cell, which is diploid in nature, means having two set of chromosomes, it undergo meiosis and produce gametes. Haploid gametes are produced. This process itself we call gametogenesis. Hence, the gametogenesis is the process of formation of haploid gametes from diploid spore mother cell. Is called gametogenesis or gamete formation. Then, based on shape, then size and structure, the gametes are classified into three types. In that, first one, isogametes. We also call them as a homogametes. Then anisogametes. Then heterogametes. Heterogametes, we also call them as a oogametes. See this simple figure. If both male and female gametes having same shape, same size, same structure, we call isogametes or homogametes, because iso refers to similar, identical, same, or homo refers to similar or same. That means both male and female gametes having same shape, same size, same structure. Such gametes are called isogametes. Union of such isogametes we call the name isogamy. Like that, anisogametes. You take in anisogametes, size is different. Female gamete is larger, male gamete is smaller. But structure of both male and female gamete remain same. That what we call anisogametes. If male and female gametes having same shape and same structure and differ in size, that is female gamete larger, male gamete smaller, such gametes are called anisogametes. Union of such anisogametes we call anisogamy. Heterogametes, where both male and female gametes differ in shape, differ in size, differ in structure. Suppose here you take female gamete, spherical or egg shape, larger in size, immotile, whereas male gamete, small, microscopic, motile, flagellated. Therefore, union of these gametes we call the name oogamy. In such a way, we classify gametes into three different types: isogametes, anisogametes, heterogametes. Mainly, isogametes we see in case of a polystomella. It's a protozoan. Then the algae fucus, which showing the anisogametes. But 99% of the animals and plants, that is majority of organisms, showing the especially the heterogametes or oogametes in nature. These three types of gametes. First one, homogametes or isogametes we say. Here, male and female gametes having same shape, same size, same structure. Such gametes we called isogametes or homogametes. Generally, very rarely we seen in case of cladophora, it is a algae, polystomella, it is a protozoan. Then union of isogametes we called isogamy. The word what we call isogamy. If you consider another kind of gametes, anisogametes. If male and female gametes having same shape, same structure, then differ in the size. That is, the male gamete is smaller, then female gamete is larger. Such gametes are called anisogametes. Then example, we have fucus, a kind of algae. Union of anisogametes is called anisogamy. Lastly, heterogametes or oogametes, if you consider, both male and female gametes differ in shape, differ in size, differ in structure. Such gametes are called oogametes. Most of the organisms showing oogametes only. Union of oogametes is called oogamy. In heterogametes, the male gamete is generally microscopic, smaller, flagellated, and generally motile in nature. Whereas female gamete is spherical or egg-shaped, larger in size, having huge amount of a reserve food material, non-flagellated, and it is immotile. So far, in pre-fertilization event, we explained what do we mean by gametogenesis, and we also classified three types of gametes based on shape, size, and structure, where we defined what are homogametes, heterogametes, then anisogametes. At the same time, three important fertilization types we explained, that are isogamy, anisogamy, and oogamy. Now we have to consider sexuality in organism. Here we make three parts. How in lower plants sexuality is represented, how in flowering plants sexuality is represented, and how in animals sexuality is represented. First, in the discussion of sexuality in organisms, we consider sexuality in lower plants. Mainly in case of algae, fungi, bryophytes, the plant body is called thallus. That is, thallus is undifferentiated plant body, and it is filamentous, means thread-like. Generally, it we may not differentiate it as a either stem or root or leaf, but thallus does all function. It does root function, absorb water, like a stem, it gives mechanical support, like a leaf, it helps for photosynthesis. Whereas in the especially lower plants, the male sex organ we called antheridium. It's just a ball-like structure where its ability to produce a biflagellated the sperms or anthrozoids we call. It is antheridium, just singular. Then female sex organ we call archegonium. Almost all, it is a flask-like structure and having a single large egg or ovum at center. And this archegonium acts as the especially female sex organ, and it produces egg, hence it what we call the name the female sex organ. Suppose if both male and female sex organs present on single plant, we called homothallic, or that condition we also called monoecious. We see in case of a algae by the name Chara, where both archegonium and antheridium born on same plant. Then if male and female sex organ developed on two different plants of same species, we call heterothallic or dioecious. We seen in case of a bryophyte Markensia, where male plant bears antheridium, female plant bears archegonium. Like that, two important terminology we used. Homothallic, in this case, both male and female sex organs born on same plant. In heterothallic, both male and female sex organs developed on two different plants belongs to same species, as we seen in case of Markensia. If you take sexuality in flowering plants, that is angiosperms, they bear either bisexual flowers or unisexual flowers. Most of the plants bears bisexual flowers. That means both male sex organ and female sex organ, that is male sex organ is androecium, female sex organ is gynoecium, present in same flower. That what we call the name bisexual flower. If male sex organ and female sex organ present in same flower, such flower we call bisexual flower. Majority of the flowers or plants bears a bisexual flower itself. Hence, here just I mentioned one example, that is hibiscus. Then, in a unisexual flower, either male sex organ, that is androecium, or female sex organ present in a flower. Therefore, either in a flower androecium may present as a male sex organ or gynoecium may present as a female sex organ. In that, once again, we have two types of flowers. One is staminate flower. That staminate flower itself is a male flower which bears stamens. Stamens bearing plants, what we call staminate flower. Then another one, pistillate flower. That is a female flower which having pistil. That is, pistil having flower is called pistillate flower. Basically, if both male and female flowers born on same plant, we call monoecious plants. That is, if both male and female flowers born on same plant, we called the specially monoecious plant. You can give example of coconut as well as cucurbita. At the same time, dioecious plants. Here, male flower born on male plant and female flower, that is pistillate flower, born on female plant. That is, if male and female plants flowers born on two different plants of same species, we call dioecious plant. For that, we can give the example of papaya, where the male papaya plant bears staminate flower, the female papaya plant bears pistillate flower. That's what we call dioecious plant. In such a way, sexuality in flowering plant we can differentiate as a bisexual and unisexual. And in unisexual flower, once again we have male flower, staminate flower, pistillate flower, female flower. If both male and female flower born on same plant, we call monoecious. If they are born on two different plants of same species, we call dioecious plants. If we consider sexuality in case of animals, most of the animals are unisexual animals. Means here sexes are separate. That is, the male and female animals are different. Then male animal having male sex organ, ability to produce sperms or male gamete. Then female animal having female sex organ, namely we called ovaries. It has responsibility to produce generally eggs. But very rarely we have bisexual animals, and these bisexual animals technically we know as a hermaphrodite. If both male and female sex organ present in single animal, we call hermaphrodite animals. If both male and female sex organs present in same animal, such animals are called hermaphrodite. Mainly, we can give best example of earthworm. Other than that, we have plenty of example. Leech we take, planaria, then liver fluke, even tapeworm. These are the some example. They shows hermaphrodite nature.